I taught one of my writing and publishing workshops today at the Whitney Branch Library here in the fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. And I was re-watching the recording because I record my sessions. And there was this teeny tiny piece that could possibly be taken out of context. So I just want to do a video to explain that. It was the part of the workshop where I was discussing my autobiographical novel, which is a novel I wrote that's 80% based on my life. It's called I Ain't Me No More, and it's written under the name E.N. E in joy. Everybody needs joy. And so I was talking about when I was writing that book and I was working with my professional editor, and she was pointing out parts where I wasn't taking accountability, nor responsibility, the ability to respond to the things that were done to me in life. The mental, physical, sexual, financial, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse, the rape, and anyone hearing that may say, wait a minute, Joylyn, how do you take accountability and responsibility for the harm and the wrong and the pain that was inflicted on you? So let me be very clear. I would never suggest that if you've suffered any type of abuse, wrongdoing, pain, assaults, what have you, that you ever have to take accountability and responsibility for that. And so I just wanted to really do a video to explain that. Again, I'm the only one with the recording. No one else would see it, but somebody might remember that statement. And they may have gone through something. There's no might have. We've all gone through something. But I would never want anyone who heard me make that statement without being able to give the full context of it to ever think they need to take accountability or that they are responsible in any way for the pain inflicted on them by an abuser. But we do have to take accountability. We do have a responsibility on how we move and navigate through the world. Keyword move. Because a lot of us will take that pain and we will hold on to it for life, and it will paralyze us. It immobilizes us to where we can't operate in our calling, to where we can't serve, to where we can't take that story, take that pain, and touch someone else's life, save someone else's life, let someone else know it's not okay, but you're not alone. I want to be clear on that. I didn't take accountability and responsibility, again, the ability to respond post the abuse, post the assault, post all the bad things that happened in my life that caused me pain. If you're abused, molested, raped, whatever you're going through, that's not your fault. You do not have to take accountability for other people's actions, for other people's wrongdoings. But we have a ability to respond. And I had to take accountability and responsibility for what I did with that pain. And I didn't do the right things with that pain. I became a monster, angry at the world, and I wanted to inflict the same pain that had been inflicted upon me onto others. I needed to take accountability for that, because what these people did to me, the people who hurt me, what they did, how I handled it, the accountability and the responsibility for my actions. And a lot of us do that. We walk around carrying this pain like a badge of honor. thinking it gives us the right to be nasty, mean-spirited, abusive to others. That's what I mean by accountability and responsibility. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with that pain? I was hurting. I was in pain, and I needed the world to feel my wrath. I did not take responsibility. My ability to respond for the pain, for the hurt, was to be a monster. We have an accountability and a responsibility to turn that evil into good. We have to take accountability on sharing our stories, removing the guilt, removing the shame, the humiliation, the embarrassment, because it's no longer about us. What we endured at this point, it's no longer about us. It's how we're going to use it so that it doesn't happen to someone else, or someone else who is in something can get out of it. More importantly, get through it. What you'll never hear me say is tell someone to get over their pain. Oh, you'll get over it. You'll get over the grief. You'll get over the sorrow. You'll get over the pain. But what I will tell you is you can get through it. But you have to be accountable for that. And you have to be responsible for that. It's not your therapist's job. It's not your counselor's job. It's your job to get through it. Get over yourself. That's one thing you can get over. Get over yourself, because it's no longer about you. But you have to take accountability and responsibility for your story attached to the trauma, for your story attached to the pain. Because now it's to benefit someone else. It's no longer your trauma. I hear people, my trauma, my anxiety, my depression. It's not yours. Quit taking ownership of that. Everything you've been through, every part of your journey, every piece of your story, it is no longer your portion. It's somebody else's portion at this point. It's part of your story. It's part of being accountable and taking responsibility to share your story so that it can help someone else, so that it can touch someone else's lives, so that it can alter the trajectory of someone else's life, so that it can save someone else's life. You do have to take accountability and responsibility for that. And too many of us don't. We hold on to this pain for dear life. Like it's our only asset in the world is this pain, and I get to behave this way, I get to do that, and I don't get to do that because of this pain, because of this trauma, and my pain, and my trauma, and my. It's not yours. And as long as you keep it inside, you are starving the person who your story is truly for. Please release ownership. Quit calling it my pain, my truth. There's the truth. Release ownership. You have to take accountability and responsibility on what you do after